Hello and welcome to this week's A Wildlife Matters podcast. As the year draws to its close, we're thrilled to bring you a special New Year's Eve episode. And today we invite you to experience the magic of murmuration, a story born from the mesmerising dance of starlings and other birds swirling across the UK's skies. And as always, we'll share peaceful escape into nature together during this week's A Wildlife Matters Mindful Moments. But first, come along as we explore the latest nature news stories that sparked our curiosity this week in Wildlife Matters Nature News. Hello and welcome to this week's A Wildlife Matters Nature News, where we share the stories that have caught our attention from the world of wildlife and nature this week. And this week we spotlight the government's bold move to ban trail hunting in England and Wales, a key step in their sweeping new animal welfare strategy. Trail hunting involves laying a scent for dogs to track, with riders following on horseback. Yet, this practice has frequently served as a cover for illegal fox hunting. Although hunting live mammals was outlawed in England and Wales in 2004, trail hunting has remained a legal loophole until now. Environment Secretary Emma Reynolds said, "We're a nation of animal lovers. This government is delivering the most ambitious animal welfare strategy in a generation. Our strategy will raise welfare standards for animals in the home, on the farm, and in the wild." For decades, Wildlife Matters has championed the fight to end the pursuit of wild animals by packs of dogs. We see hunting as both cruel and outdated, a relic that has no place in a caring society. No justification, be it sport, tradition, or economics, can eclipse the urgent need to shield animals from this needless suffering. The new animal welfare strategy also brings in other changes, such as improving dog breeding practices and working to end puppy farms. The government will also look into banning electric shock collars and may introduce new licensing rules for rescue and rehoming groups. The strategy plans to help farmed animals by phasing out colony cages for hens and setting humane slaughter rules for farmed fish. There will also be more protections for wild animals, like banning snare traps and setting a closed season for hares to reduce the number shot during their breeding time. The government aims to implement these changes by the end of 2030, and farmers and other stakeholders will have the opportunity to share their views during the consultations, which will begin in the new year. Our second story is from Cheshire Wildlife Trust, which has unveiled an ambitious plan to breathe new life into 24 hectares of floodplain grazing marsh on the Wirral Peninsula, with completion expected in 2026. The project is funded by the Environment Agency's Natural Flood Management Programme and is a partnership between Cheshire Wildlife Trust and Wirral Borough Council. This marks the beginning of a wider vision to revive and enrich biodiversity at the new Hall Farm site, nestled between Meols and Hoylake. With initial habitat surveys complete, ongoing monitoring is now underway to nurture both wildlife and the surrounding communities. A central aim is to revive natural processes by reconnecting a straightened stretch of the Birket River to its floodplain, allowing water to flow freely and linger longer during heavy rains. By slowing the flow of water, this approach will help shield downstream areas from flooding during storms and create a thriving haven of biodiversity and other natural habitats. The restored wetlands will become a sanctuary for birds such as the black-tailed gobwhit and the curlew, which journey inland from the Dee and Mersey estuaries in search of vital high-tide habitats. Both estuaries are special protection areas and are internationally important for these species, many of which are under pressure. Safeguarding the habitats that connect these special sites is crucial, offering birds safe havens to rest and breed. Restoring New Hall Farm is a cornerstone for nature recovery within the region. The project offers a powerful example of how nature-based solutions can benefit both wildlife and local communities by reducing flood risks while nurturing biodiversity. Hannah Phillips, the Nature Recovery Programme Manager at the Cheshire Wildlife Trust, told Wildlife Matters, once known as Hoylake Cars, the site was a thriving wetland. The restoration will trace the ancient river channels and still mark the landscape today. The project seeks to revive this precious yet dwindling habitat, ensuring year-round water to provide a safe haven for waterfowl and wading birds. By managing floodwater during heavy rains, the project will protect local communities and ease downstream flooding. Holding more water on site will slow the flow and help keep river levels in check during the storms. Expert consultants have helped with the design and planning during the project's development. The work on the site will take place during the summer of 2026 and will last for several weeks. Cheshire Wildlife Trust will closely monitor wildlife throughout and after the project to ensure a lasting success. And our third story today is a lovely one from one of our listeners, and it introduces a delightfully scruffy robin whose charm brightened up the days of many people. Jackie Swift, known as the bird whisperer of Lantworth Major, shared the story with Wildlife Matters. It starts back in March 2020. As the world slowed for the first lockdown, Jackie watched birds flit through her garden. One day, a dishevelled little robin, resembling a fuzzy brown pom-pom, appeared on her bird bath. Instantly captivated, Jackie began taking pictures of the endearing bird that she named Mr. Scruffy as he raised his chicks in her garden hedge. While people across Wales stayed indoors, Jackie's photos of Scruffy offered a window into his whimsical world, spreading joy far beyond her garden. Robins usually sport a reddish-orange breast, a brown back and white belly with a dark beak. But Scruffy, he was unforgettable, his comically fluffed feathers sticking out in every direction. Before long, he had a devoted fan club and thousands still delight at his pictures today. Jackie told Wildlife Matters that she first saw him in her bird bath outside the kitchen when lockdown began, and she laughed at how scruffy he looked. A few days later, I was throwing sultanas on the lawn for some visiting blackbirds when he returned. This scruffy little robin kept swooping down and pinching the sultanas, and I realised that he must be nesting nearby. I looked up what foods robins like and ended up buying some mealworm for him. Over the following weeks, the scruffy little robin grew bolder, allowing Jackie to capture some intimate close-ups of his delightfully ruffled feathers. Despite its location near the bustling high street, Jackie's garden is a haven for wildlife filled with trees, hedges, a bee garden, a bark area and a sprawling lawn. Robins are often shy in the wild, but they can become quite tame in gardens. As Scruffy's confidence blossomed, Jackie's son, who was home from work because of the pandemic, joined his mum in coaxing the little bird closer for that perfect shot. Jackie said, "I think during lockdown, Scruffy actually saved my mental health. This little robin kept coming back. I'd wake up in the morning and Scruffy would be there. He would fly down to the conservatory and wait for me." During the lockdown, 65-year-old Jackie balanced 2 days a week working at a supermarket with her passion for photography, already equipped with the perfect camera and lenses for her new feathered friend. She explained, "I used to photograph weddings and landscapes, but had never taken pictures of birds before. I would lie on the grass with my camera while my son scattered mealworms to bring Scruffy closer to me. It can be hard to tell if a robin is male or female just by looking at them, but there are some behavioural clues during the breeding season. Robins can pair up as early as January, with males singing even through the winter to defend their territories. Despite their festive, charming appearance on Christmas cards, robins are fiercely territorial birds. And robins can have more than one set of chicks in a year. The male often looks after the fledglings while the female starts building the next nest. Jackie thought Scruffy was a male because he cared for the fledglings after they left the nest. Scruffy seemed to relish the spotlight, while his mate remained elusive and camera shy. Jackie captured thousands of close-ups of Scruffy, but managed only 3 pictures of his sleek, feathered partner. Just weeks after Jackie started photographing Scruffy, Spring Watch's Chris Packham launched the Self-Isolating Bird Club Facebook page, drawing thousands of nature lovers. And Jackie shared Scruffy's images on there, and he quickly won the community's hearts. Soon after, she started an Instagram account for Scruffy to share favourite photos of him. Jackie said, "I called the account Scruffy the Robin, and it quickly gained over 12,000 followers, with one image alone getting over 24,000 likes. The main question I would get asked by followers was, why is Scruffy so scruffy? And I couldn't answer that. I looked it up and thought it might be genetic. I would see Scruffy's partner and she was completely smooth like other robins. Whatever it was, it never affected him because I would see him flying easily, picking up food and taking it back to the nest. I read that it could be mites, so I used my professional lenses to zoom in on his feathers, but I never saw anything crawling around. I like to think he was just a one-off scruffy robin." As Scruffy's Instagram popularity soared, Jackie received heartfelt messages from fans who said his photos helped them through lockdown. Followers sent her paintings, sketches, and even a felt Scruffy came in the mail. People fell for him instantly. But by July 2020, Scruffy suddenly stopped visiting Jackie's garden. She said, "I remember seeing him go to the different places to feed the chicks after they left the nest. One day he flew over the garden wall. That was the last time that I saw him. I hope he showed up in someone else's garden, but sadly, robins don't live very long." Robins defend their territories year-round and often remain close to gardens, but their lives can be brief, sometimes lasting just over 1 year. If they survive that first year, though, then they may go on to live 5, 6 years and sometimes even more. Even after sharing hundreds of Scruffy's pictures online, Jackie still has many unseen snaps of her beloved robin. 5 years after Scruffy first showed up in Lantwit's Major, Jackie still shares new pictures of the quirky little robin for his followers to enjoy. Jackie said, "Everyone knows Scruffy has left my garden now, but people still enjoy the pictures. There's always been a friendly blackbird that comes into my conservatory. Once, he even sat on my table waiting for his sultanas. Yet, it was Scruffy who truly ignited my passion. After he left, I began photographing other birds such as puffins, guillemots, and even majestic birds of prey. I started another Instagram account to share those pictures of the other birds, but I still post to Scruffy's account because I have so many nice pictures of him that I still want to share." And that has been this week's Wildlife Matters Nature News. We hope Scruffy the Robin's tale brought a smile to your face. Listeners' stories are so important to us, so if you have a wildlife adventure to share, then we would love to hear from you. Please just drop us a note using the email address in our show notes. We support the new animal welfare strategy and encourage the government to share its main points well before the planned 2030 deadline. As the winter sun dips below the horizon and flocks of birds sweep across the sky, settle in for this week's Wildlife Matters Mindful Moments. hope you enjoyed listening to the murmuration and that your imagination painted vivid pictures inspired by the sounds. For us, that is where the true magic of murmuration lies. Which brings us rather seamlessly to this week's Wildlife Matters main feature, our final one of 2025. So join us as we share our story of the magic of murmuration, which is showing throughout the skies of the UK right now. Hello and welcome to this week's Wildlife Matters main feature. And today we're looking at something that's happening in the natural world right now, which is incredible to see: starling murmuration. The breathtaking sight of thousands of starlings gracefully swooping overhead in a perfect formation, like a living, breathing masterpiece in the sky, is one of Britain's most awe-inspiring wildlife spectacles. And you can see it throughout the country right now. So here is Wildlife Matters in-depth exploration of starling murmurations, delving into their fascinating reasons behind their occurrence and the remarkable ability of starlings to navigate the sky without colliding. Utilizing the best scientific knowledge available, including studies on bird behavior, aerodynamics, and collective action, we will unravel the mysteries of murmurations, providing you with a deeper understanding of this natural phenomenon. The murmuration is a breathtaking work of art in the sky. The birds' swirling movements reminiscent of the practice of Tai Chi. As the sun sets and the starlings drop to the reed beds to roost, you're left in awe, knowing you have witnessed a truly magnificent spectacle. They move as one, twisting and turning, rapidly changing directions, yet never breaking rank. The formation flows like a liquid, darkening as the birds cross over each other and paling again as they stretch out. Starling murmurs occur at dusk and early evening in the autumn and winter, making these the best times to plan your visit for a chance to witness this breathtaking natural spectacle. It has been hailed as the most extraordinary wildlife spectacle in Britain, and it's hard to argue when you witness the mesmerising sight of thousands of birds creating intricate swirling patterns in the early evening skies. It's a wonder of nature that never fails to inspire awe and amazement. Here in Britain, starling murmurations can occur from early November until February, and studies suggest that starlings congregate in these remarkable murmurations, not just for our viewing pleasure, but as a clever strategy to deter predators who might be confused by the swirling masses. It's a testament to nature's ingenuity and the power of collective action, a sight that never fails to impress. Scientists have been interested in murmuration and incredible wildlife spectacle for many years. Many questions have been raised, such as why these great congregations occur and how does starlings know when to turn in unison without colliding. Starlings have swift reaction times and can change their flight direction in a split second. It is an incredible experience to hear and watch the mesmerizing sight of thousands of them performing their aerial dance at dawn and dusk. Murmurations are vast groups of starlings that twist, turn, swoop and swirl across the sky in a beautiful shape-shifting clouds. Just before dusk, small groups of starlings from the same area come together above a communal roosting site. The group grows ever larger, moving in unison in an aerial dance that casts gorgeous shapes against the waning daylight sky. However, the more starlings in a flock, the less likely an airborne predator is to catch any individual. Studies have shown that individual starlings move around within the flock and try to minimize their time on the edge where they are most vulnerable. And starlings are gregarious birds that live in flocks for much of the year. But in winter, migrant birds from colder parts of Europe boost their numbers, and these aerial displays are at their most breathtaking. Starlings are known as partial migrants, birds that migrate in some places but not others. Here in the UK, British starlings tend to stay put, while those from colder countries in Eastern Europe may head to our shores, swelling our numbers during autumn and winter to form seriously impressive flocks. We've all heard the old saying about safety in numbers, which is the ethos behind starling murmuration. After all, it can't be easy to single out just one starling from a whirling group of hundreds or even thousands. Experts still aren't sure how each starling knows which way to turn without bumping into the others, though. Murmurations always form over the bird's communal resting site. As the number of starlings peaks and the last of the daylight begins to fade, an unspoken signal seems to tell the group to funnel towards the ground with one last sweeping motion and a calming whoosh of their wings. Roosts can be anything from a reed bed to a seaside pier where the group can huddle together for warmth and chatter about the best feeding grounds. I'm lucky to know several reliable locations to view murmurs. Brighton and Eastbourne are famous for their spectacular displays, and other coastal towns in the south, such as Bognor, Chichester, and Hastings, hold magnificent displays. Spectacular displays can also be seen on the West Pier at Brighton, which is one of Britain's most renowned starling murmurations, happens near the skeletal abandoned West Pier on Brighton's rocky seafront. As many as 40,000 birds migrate from regions as distant as Scandinavia to spend the winter alongside their local counterparts on Brighton Pier. At Gretna Green in Dumfries and Galloway, there was a time when only eloping couples travelled to Gretna Green, located on the Scottish-English borders. But nowadays, it's the aerial visitors that capture the most attention. This mobile roost, consisting of about 1 million birds, is typically seen just west of Gretna near the border with Cumbria. The landscape in the area is sparsely populated and features forests, maritime and dairy pastures, coastal flats and estuaries. As autumn progresses, keep an eye out for the impressive swans returning from Iceland. There are several well-known murmuration sites across the UK. Although Wildlife Matters has not had the opportunity to visit each one individually, we have consulted leading local wildlife groups to compile a list of notable locations. Aberystwyth Ceredigion. You might hear them before you see them here. A thrilling whoosh above Aberystwyth. The Welsh resort on Cardigan Bay provides another opportunity to observe starlings, including a local hotel called the Starling Cloud. Around 30,000 starlings swirl from their coastal feeding grounds to roost beneath the iron latticed pier, engaging in an incredible display of synchronized aerobatics. And into the south of Wales at Newport Wetlands. Look out for bearded tits and wintering bitterns at Wales' largest wetlands, which feature a visitor centre, accessible trails and broadwalks. This reserve was established to combat habitat loss caused by the development of the Cardiff Bay, and visitors can witness a murmuration of around 50,000 starlings flying across the reserve before they settle into the reeds for the night. In the east of the UK, a Wisby Nature Park in Lincolnshire, the regenerated sand and gravel quarries have transformed into a diverse landscape, which includes lakes, grasslands, marshes, scrub areas, willow cars, and small oak woodlands. During winter, these habitats attract migratory birds such as goldcrests, redpolls, and grey wagtails. The park features a visitor centre and paths that provide excellent viewing spots for observing the stunning murmuration of around 10,000 starlings, which swirls in the sky like billowing smoke above the reserve. A little further inland at Fen Drayton Lakes in Cambridgeshire, as the sun dips below the horizon, a mesmerising spectacle unfolds over the stunning lakes of Cambridgeshire. 9,000 starlings take to the sky, weaving intricate patterns in a breathtaking aerial dance that captivates all who are fortunate enough to witness it. Whilst starling murmurations may seem vast and are mesmerising, they have become much smaller in recent years due to the decline of starling populations throughout the UK and Europe. Here in Britain, these charming birds have faced dramatic decline, with their numbers plummeting by over 80% since the 1970s. And this alarming drop has led to their classification as a red-listed species, indicating a serious conservation concern that should not be overlooked. So what are the reasons behind this significant decline? Well, they're multifaceted. A shortage of food and suitable nesting sites has arisen from the intensification of agricultural practices, from rapid urban development, the reduction of traditional outbuildings, and the absence of open eaves on modern houses. All these factors play a role in the diminishing habitats available for starlings. We want this Wildlife Matters guide to help you visit one of the places we have highlighted around the country, or to just visit your own local sites where the starlings may flock to murmurate. It's well worth braving the chilly evening air at dusk to witness thousands of starlings gather in spectacular formations, swirling and diving in perfect harmony. And this breathtaking display of nature serves as a powerful reminder of the beauty found in the wild and the incredible wildlife that calls Britain home. So come and experience this captivating event. So make sure you get out and try to experience this captivating event that connects us to the wonders of the natural world. Starlings are incredible birds. Go see a murmuration. And that has been this week's Wildlife Matters main feature. Whether it's at dawn or dusk, vast flocks of starlings joined by their European cousins create a breathtaking spectacle for anyone lucky enough to watch. The winter sky holds even more wonders. Let it inspire you to wrap up warm, grab your binoculars and go outside into your own local area and see the birds settling for the night. Before Christmas, we shared the top 10 most listened to episodes of the Wildlife Matters podcast. This brought in many new listeners and encouraged some regulars to revisit some of our earlier episodes. Like our second episode, Our Fox is Dangerous, released over 5 years ago, but it remains a firm favourite. 5 episodes from 2025 also landed in the top 10. On Christmas Eve, we were proud to announce that the introduction to British Corvids Part 1 from Series 5 is our most listened to episode with over 30,000 individual listeners. And that's truly incredible. Our first storytelling episode, released at the autumn equinox in 2023, took the number 2 spot. In it, we shared the story of Mabon and explained why the leaves turn red in autumn. I can still remember the nerves of trying something new, but that leap gave me the courage to launch our sister podcast, The Nature Storyteller. It's already welcoming many new listeners and shares a fresh story on the 3rd Sunday of every month. 2025 has been a fantastic year for Wildlife Matters. Our community keeps expanding, with listeners now tuning in from over 80 countries. For a podcast focused on British wildlife, that feels extraordinary, and we are deeply grateful for each and every one of you. And we're excited to embark on our new adventures with you in 2026, exploring fresh ideas and keeping wildlife and nature at the heart of everything that we do. Thank you for your incredible support throughout 2025. However you celebrate New Year's Eve with a wassail cider or not, we wish you a wonderful 2026 filled with thriving wildlife, natural beauty, and the fulfillment of your own dreams. Wildlife Matters will return on the 14th of January with our guide to winter bird feeding. But until then, stay curious, wild ones. This is Wildlife Matters, signing off.